All right, folks. I got some primer dust on me. I want to do this is just a sit down chatting at you. What I'm doing is I'm shooting on my phone and publishing from here, and I haven't figured out really how to splice things together on this yet. It is what it is. So I'm bringing you little segments, small bite-sized chunks. I showed you I have one wall up. I have 3 sticks across the ceiling of what will eventually be something of a paint enclosure. Not professional by any stretch, not legal in a commercial professional environment, period. What I'm doing is creating essentially a clean room that I can spray in, I can vent, I can filter the air in and filter the air out. And filtering the air out has a great importance, that you're not evacuating all that shit out into the air to everyone around you. The common filters used don't collect everything, but damn it, at least it's something. Now, one thing is you got an area that's isolated that you are spraying in, that you can keep clean, and give yourself better paint jobs. Everything I've painted so far in here has to be cut and buffed. There's no way around it. The trash is everywhere in the air, just floating through the air. You seal off a small area to paint in. You can surgically clean that area and make it very tidy. You'll still have trash that finds its way in, just is. The best paint booths on the planet still let trash in, just is. A lot of it comes off of you, the applicator. And it allows you to have that clean area, vent just that clean area. Because right now, if I kick the exhaust fan on, one, I got no filtration at all, so I'm just kicking everything through the fan. It's bad on the fan, it's bad on the outside, it's not a great deal. I'm working to fix that in my little hobby shop. Now, the other thing is the fan, especially where it's placed in this building, is up high, so it's drawing all the heat off the ceiling, and it's evacuating the entirety of the volume of air. One other aspect being, once you cordon off an area and vent just that area, draw from the worm side, from your shop area. On a small hobby scale like this, you don't need air exchange. This building's so loose, it'll find air. The air will find its way. It'll exchange its own self. You don't have to control that aspect because you're not drawing 10,000 CFM. But what it does is it'll exchange the air in that little space rapidly. And it's only drawing from that little space versus kicking the fan on with the heater on in the shop. It's drawing all the air out, right off the ceiling out, and it'll drop the temperature dramatically doing so. And that can definitely affect your paint, how it lays out, how it flows, how it cures. And the physics behind it is you draw just that one little room, and it'll build up negative pressure, draw air in from the warm shop. The heater can warm up the air in the warm shop that's not being depleted so readily as if I duct it down, build a trunk and filter it out. The exchange rate is different for that purpose. It'll stay warm in the shop area. You've now isolated your paint area away from your shop area. You can work on other stuff while you've got wet paint. I couldn't right now because anything else I work on will all end up in that paint. It's not safe to wander around the shop without a respirator on because all that paint is in the shop. And you want to utilize your PPE. Respirators, gloves, anytime you deal with chemicals. Now, anytime you deal with anything. So, that's kind of the rundown 101. You pull from the warm air of your shop. Even if it's the same CFM fan, you're venting the whole shop. The exchange rate slows. and you can control where that air comes from and goes to. And it'll vent better, venting that small area. And then you can still paint if there's someone out here sanding, or you can sand if there's wet paint sitting and they're curing. You can let it flow for as long as, I prefer till it's dust free, because it helps suspend those particles with the air flowing. With the evacuation of air, it'll suspend particles in the air. You let it get dust free, then it can land on it and it's not going to affect you. You dust it off, you move on with life. So that's kind of where this aspect is. This is what I'm aiming at. I need to be able to work in the shop while I got stuff wet. And I don't want to draw the heat out of my entire shop. I want to be able to walk around my entire shop relatively safe from isocyanides and other chemicals. I also want to collect as much of that as I can in filters before it exits the building. I think I gave a reasonable rundown. If you got any questions, holler at me. But this is what I'm working on for my hobby space, my little area that this is what I enjoy doing. I work, in a crash bang shop, but this is what I love doing, and I've got responsibilities to complete. Those responsibilities I complete, I can deal with other responsibilities that have been neglected since everything fell apart a couple years ago. So it's all part of a larger plan for me, but I wanted to kind of introduce you to what I'm doing and why. Even though it's substandard in construction, it serves these functions that allows you safety, it allows you a certain isolation for that area. These are all factors you want to ponder. Talk to you later.